It's Dan here with coin Cerberus. That's the name of this new YouTube channel that I'm setting up. Basically just sharing my journey with working with and getting into cryptocurrencies. I've got in kind of late in 2017, just when everything started to get interesting. Kind of a bit too late for the Bitcoin rush, but I still wanted to kind of create this kind of vlog and just kind of document my kind of journey and just see kind of where it takes me. Now I have other YouTube channels and other kind of websites, particularly to do with with music, and I have a good number of music sites. I have a site, a hip hop beat site, a music marketing site called the Corporate Thief Beats. I have a bunch of how to rap sites as well, and a bunch of hip hop blogs. That's pretty where my whole kind of internet experience comes from, with web design and creating websites and microsites. I did really wanted to create something that was like a little journey blog, and I think with the cryptocurrencies and me getting into it, it's a good idea to kind of document that. So basically where my journey started in kind of late August 2017, September-ish, my brother and I were kind of really talking about getting into cryptocurrencies. The market was just starting to heat up. The Bitcoin just kind of rose up so high, like so quickly, and I knew that I wouldn't have the kind of money to kind of play with the kind of Bitcoin, kind of following that kind of trend with Bitcoin, but I do like the technology that's coming into play with cryptocurrencies, and I'll kind of talk about them in this video and what I'm kind of investing in. A lot of my stuff that I'm doing is just experimentation as well. I'm just kind of just testing the water a lot with some stuff. I don't take my advice as gospel. I'm not a financial professional in any sort, right? So always kind of, there's nothing wrong with going to different YouTube channels and kind of getting a feel for everything. That's what I'm doing right now. In other videos, I'm going to show you other channels that I kind of take advice from, or just kind of just see what's kind of getting hot there out in the market, especially with cryptocurrencies. Don't always kind of believe everyone that's on YouTube as well. Kind of just do your own research on these cryptocurrencies as well. Not every single one of them is going to be this great tech company. Some of these are just ideas. A lot of these are ideas. Even the ones that even like with Bitcoin, it hasn't completely adopted Ripple or Ethereum or anything like that. They're not widely used as regular currency. So a lot of it is still ideas, speculation. So when you're kind of looking for your information on the internet about cryptocurrencies, you might see these kind of videos where they kind of hype up the title, Bitcoin is a failure, try this coin. So just be kind of careful with that, and don't be fooled by pretty websites as well. I could make a website in 10 minutes using really good themes and stuff like that. And you can find stock images to make it look like you've got staff as well. So not all of these coins are great. You just have to kind of, some of them you just kind of have to kind of maybe kind of have a little bit of faith that it will work. And that's what I'm kind of hoping that some of them will be like that. Like for instance, the whole kind of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency kind of craze started because it was kind of everybody was saying F the banks, screw the banks, we kind of want our own currency, and that's fine, I understand that, but we can't really just dump everything like that, because the whole world would collapse and then our cryptocurrencies would be pretty useless. So that's why I kind of like the adoption of the Ripple technology. But whether it's ever going to actually come into play fully, like the way we kind of seen some kind of videos on YouTube about it, talking about it being adopted in certain countries already, where they're using the XRP coin from Ripple, and it's it is a lot about speculation. You can't deny that. A lot of it is speculation, and if you're getting in to kind of just maybe flip a buck or two, that's fine. That's up to you. That's it. I'm not really going in here to do day trading. That's not what my channel is going to be in. I'm in some of these coins for the long haul. I'm going to put in a little bit here and there, maybe take some gains if I make some, and getting kind of put into looking in the newer coins that are coming up, the newer altcoins that are coming up, and kind of seeing how I can just kind of build a portfolio of cryptocurrencies and kind of hold out for the future. Because like if you think of it from a year ago, if you'd kind of even just a couple of these, if you'd kind of built up a very small portfolio of cryptocurrencies from January 2017, it would be actually a nice savings investment to kind of just do as well. So we'll just this video is just an introductory video. I'm not going to specifically kind of just go on about one particular client. I just kind of wanted to take a look, kind of introduce my channel, and kind of introduce what I'm getting into. I remember when it was back in November when everything was starting to heat up. Cardano was the coin, and IOTA were the coins that my brother and I were really kind of looking at. My brother more not. I was kind of looking at IOTA, and my brother was kind of really talking about IOTA or Cardano, and I think my brother got in really early with a little bit of investing in IOTA when it was 20 and 30 cents. And I'll just go back here. You can see this is coin market cap. So if you're starting off investing in cryptocurrencies, this is a good place to kind of take a look at and just kind of keep an eye on what kind of cryptocurrencies are kind of going up and down all the time. A second now. So we'll just take a look at this one. This was IOTA, and you can see in November. It kind of popped, and it was right around this kind of time, around October, November, that we kind of, it was right around this time. I think we had some kind of a Bitcoin and some Ethereum. We kind of just got on Coinbase like everybody else does. I'll go through kind of some of those kind of sites later. But we kind of got on Coinbase, bought some Bitcoin just to kind of test our feet with the water, and we're kind of just seeing what kind of cryptocurrencies have good technology, what ones will be around here in 2 years' time, and what ones can we put money in for long haul. And IOTA was one of those. My brother was just a bit luckier than me. I think I got in at the $2 mark. Now, if I have to be honest, this kind of all happened with IOTA. Like, it all happened in the space of a couple of hours. This spike happened really quickly. I don't even think it's going to show me this far back. Yeah, this all kind of December. Yeah, it kind of just took off. That kind of from it. Yeah. I'm talking about down here, really down around the 50, 60 pence mark. It just kind of like, as you see, it's in the space of 3 days, 4 days, it went to 120, £1 or $1.46. So you can see the gains that you could have gotten on this coin if you've gotten in early, and that's what I'm kind of looking for when I'm investing, so I can kind of boost up my portfolio, but plus any kind of coins that I can kind of make some money off of, I can invest them into other coins as well. So this kind of happened for me when I had, when I first started investing, I did Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. I did more Litecoin because of the fees with Bitcoin, and there was some kind of slow kind of network things with some of the trading platforms with Bitcoin and Ethereum right around November. So I kind of used Litecoin a lot more, and I bought more Litecoin and sold some of my Bitcoin just to get some Litecoin. And I bought it just before it kind of went on that kind of run. Around November, it kind of middle December, it kind of went on a massive run. A lot of people complained about Litecoin, that it just didn't really do anything. I remember a lot of people saying that it's never going to be like Bitcoin, and that's up to them. If they say that, that's fine. But I remember when that run was on, I had gotten in around the 50, 60 mark around here. Yeah, around the middle of November, October, I'd say it was around here. I just bought a couple. I didn't really buy that many, but I sold a lot of my Bitcoin to get some Litecoin, and then it kind of just took off. And when it kind of came to the peaks, I think I didn't go as far. I think I got bowed out just before I hit 300. I think I was around the 260, yeah, around that. That I kind of just took some of my kind of gains out, most of them really, and I invested them into other coins. Then it was really to get into IOTA, get into Litecoin or Cardano, and kind of maybe some other kind of coins I was kind of just tinkering with. And I sold most of my Litecoin then, and I think I bought Ripple just before the run that Ripple went on. I remember transferring some Litecoins, from Coinbase to GDAX, and I remember I really wanted to get some Ripple, and the market was taking so long, and I was just like, I remember looking at I think it was Bitfinex I bought the Ripple on, and I was looking at the market that day, and I could see everything going on a run. And I did like the idea of Ripple, but I kind of held back. I was kind of in Litecoin. I said, should I hold tight with Litecoin? But I think I got into Ripple just before it peaked. 1 second now. What was this around? This is December. Yeah, it was roughly around this time. I think it was just below 50 cents. I think it was roughly, or maybe it was just around 50 cents. I'm just trying to think back now. But I definitely got in before the run, because I remember freaking out that I thought I'd missed it, because it happened to me with IOTA. I got into IOTA way too late, and it's kind of hard to make any kind of gains on IOTA. And now I think I have about 50 coins of IOTA, and that's fine if it's not too bad to get into, but I wish I had gotten in a little bit earlier with IOTA. I still believe in the technology. I like the way that it doesn't just rely on doesn't rely on blockchain. It kind of has its own system in the Tangle, and there's a couple of different reasons for that. One way is that we've seen the problems with Bitcoin. Like when I first got into cryptocurrencies, I watched a bunch of documentaries. This is like going back 2015, 2016. I hadn't bought anything. I think I bookmarked this here because I wanted to talk about it in the video. And there's some documentaries here, Rise of Bitcoin, and the banking of Bitcoin. And I watched, there's just a couple of more on YouTube as well. And I just wanted to see a lot of these earlier Bitcoin documentaries were kind of about the adoption of Bitcoin, kind of, as well as mining. A lot of it was about mining as well. I was really interested in the whole thing, but I never got into it. And I regret not getting into it a little bit in it, but I just didn't really understand it enough, if I could be honest. And there's nothing wrong with taking your time and investing when you're ready, and not when the market dictates you. So definitely check out those documentaries. Anyway, they're well worth a watch anyway, and it can kind of give you if you haven't a clue about any kind of cryptocurrencies, those kind of documentaries will give you a bit of an idea. So back to where I was. So I invested in Ripple, and Ripple is one of my all-in coins. I've kind of put a lot into Ripple now, and I'll continue to back it now because I think out of all the kind of coins out there, I think Ripple is going to be one of the bigger coins. I really do, and I'm lucky that I'm in it now. I feel I'm really lucky that I'm in it really not really early, even at the price it is today. I think it's at $2 now, and some people are thinking, is it too late to get into Ripple? I don't think so. I don't think it's gonna. We're not gonna see. I don't believe we're gonna see a kind of rush like we saw at December, November. We're not gonna see that huge rush for a while. I think it might take maybe 2 or 3 months. So Ripple is one of my long-term investment coins, and I'm gonna continue to back Ripple. And Cardano is the other one that I have. One second, I'll just go back to this page again so we can see. And Cardano is another one that I'm kind of all in on as well. Cardano is created by a really good team, and they were kind of the people behind Ethereum. When Ethereum had a kind of a fork and it got hacked, they kind of split to Ethereum Classic, and the guy that was behind Cardano didn't believe that the people behind Ethereum should have the power to kind of just say, well, the hacker, we're going to just cancel all those coins that hacker took, and kind of he said it was like he didn't believe that he believed that the code was key. That's the word he used. In his name's Charles Hoskins, and that's the name of the guy that's over Cardano. But he was part of Ethereum, and when Ethereum was hacked, he didn't believe that when it was hacked that the code they should have obeyed the law of the code, that those coins should have been lost to the hacker, that the people that were over Ethereum shouldn't have had the power to kind of just fork it out, and kind of just cancel those out. It's the same way like if money was stolen, you can't just cancel out money that was been stolen, and that's why he went to create Cardano, and that's why Ethereum Classic was forked out after it. So some of the other people that were behind Ethereum believed that we should continue on with the original code that they had, but that's for another debate. You could go on back and forth about that kind of Ethereum forks. Obviously, you can see right in front of you with the Bitcoin and the Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin's had a couple of different forks, and it's split into a lot of different coins, and that's mainly because of the congestion with the blockchain and the technology with Bitcoin. It kind of grew way too fast, especially in 2017, for any kind of recorrection in the kind of code or anything like that. So it just kind of, that's what I believe in with Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash and all them. Maybe certain coins, it's up to you what you think you should invest in at the end of the day. Don't take everyone's advice on YouTube. Kind of just go and explore. If you're first time in cryptocurrencies, take a look at the actual websites of some of these kind of sites. So like Cardano, I usually go to the Cardano site. You can see that I'm usually Googling it to GDP because that's the currency I'm actually in the UK. And you can see the Cardano hub. That's one of the main coins that I'm following at the moment. And you can take a look. A lot of these kind of YouTubers kind of whinge on about the white papers. I'm not really like that. I've taken a look at them, but I'm not really super kind of nerdy into that kind of reading every single thing that's in every white paper, because I'd be spending most of my time researching rather than actually kind of watching the market, because you can't ignore any kind of the market as well. You kind of what I really did like about Cardano is that they had YouTube videos explaining it. Maybe it's just the way I take in information. They have a YouTube channel where Charles Hoskin is talking about basically what's on the white papers, and I thought that that was a really good way of, because it took me 1 or 2 times to kind of really understand what Cardano is actually about and what it can do, and I don't blame anyone that gets confused with cryptocurrencies. I think they're not easy to understand, and if you really were to go reading white papers for every single one of them, yeah, you'll spend forever reading. I'm not saying you shouldn't. That's fine. If you have that kind of interest in the kind of most of the kind of people that would be interested in that are kind of coders, people that are really interested in code. I kind of prefer someone explaining it to me. I like the lecture. I like someone that kind of explains it to me rather than reading a paper. That was always the way when I was in college as well. I remember the adoption of YouTube started when I was nearly finished college, really, in 2006, 2007. And that was really when YouTube started. And that's how I usually studied, was actually finding people talking about philosophy and stuff like that. And that's how I learned. So that's what I usually look for when I'm finding, when I'm looking at these sites, looking at the kind of people behind the actual technology of some of these coins. Like I said before, you can't ignore the hype as well. And I don't blame anyone that's coming into cryptocurrencies to kind of flip to make a little bit of money. I couldn't spend my whole day trading, it would drive me nuts. But I don't mind taking some of my gains from some coins and kind of just testing the water with some newer ones. Like maybe if there was a spike in Ripple again, I might take some gains in that and kind of invest it into maybe one of these smaller coins here, like Verge or Tron, and maybe kind of take a look at some of the kind of the technology behind some of the other ones as well. And that's really what I wanted to just open up with an introductory video. I didn't kind of want to kind of go on about too much about each individual coin, or I didn't want to have a specific video. I'll make both screencasts and kind of videos with where I'm in front of the camera as well, because I'm pretty used to being on YouTube from my music marketing stuff, but I'm more confident with my music marketing than I am with my cryptocurrencies. But I do enjoy the idea of sharing the journey, maybe some of my information and maybe some of the tips that I will share in this channel in the future. I think the next video I'll do is some of the mistakes that I did when I first got into cryptocurrencies, that I really think that I wish someone had told me this, or I wish I had found someone who would have told me this when I got into cryptocurrencies, and I'll get into that in the next video. So the channel is called Coin Cerberus. It was just a random name that I just plucked out. I just thought it was kind of funny, and I hope you guys subscribe to the channel. If there's something you want me to kind of talk about on the channel, just leave a comment in the video, and I'll check you out next time, guys. Take care.